Before the 1400s, artwork fell a little flat. That's because humanity hadn't quite figured out how to draw objects in real life. Specifically, we didn't know why things looked the way they did in 3D space, so we just guessed. Now, thanks to Italian Renaissance artists like Brunelleschi, we understand the actual geometry. Welcome to part 5 of my Drawing for Beginners series, everyone. I'm Artifacts. Let's look at some perspective drawing concepts that you can apply to every drawing to give your art depth and realism. Alright, first, find your horizon line. This line exists off in the distance and represents the horizon in every view. Sometimes this line is hidden completely by nature or man-made objects like mountains or buildings, but it still exists. Even if you're drawing an interior scene, you can find this line by imagining the walls are transparent. Okay, now let's draw the horizon line as a reference. Next, to create a simple one-point perspective drawing, you just need to mark one point on your horizon line. This is our vanishing point, because parallel lines all seem to vanish on this one point in space. To illustrate how this works, let's draw a cube. First, draw a box anywhere you'd like. I'll do it a little to the left so you can see more of the box's side when we're done. Now, draw a straight line connecting each corner of the box to the vanishing point. I'm just freehanding it, but you may want to use a straight edge, especially on larger drawings. These will be our construction or guidelines. To finish off the cube, draw another box within these guidelines, just a little further back from our first box. This is the backside of the cube. Now, let's use the guidelines to trace over the 3D cube shape, which has accurate angles for a one-point perspective drawing. This can be the start of a building or construction for other shapes in 3D space. If we want, we can repeat the process using the same guidelines already here. We can also create shorter and taller cubes in other locations, all using this one vanishing point for our entire drawing. If you draw an interior scene with one-point perspective, the construction is the same. First, imagine your walls are transparent to find and draw your horizon line. Then, mark your vanishing point on it. Now, connect lines from this point to the corners of your room or the corners of your drawing surface. The back wall is a box that gets drawn somewhere within the guidelines like we did when we drew the backside of our cubes. If the room is very long, the box is further back and smaller. If the room is short, the box is much bigger. We'll draw ours somewhere in the middle. If you'd like, you can now erase your horizon line since you won't ever see it inside your room, but be sure to leave the vanishing point for reference. Now, within this room, we can add objects like tables by drawing other construction lines that connect to the vanishing point. Pictures or windows on these sidewalls work the same. We can draw a vertical line for the side of the picture or window. Then, draw guidelines from the top and bottom of this line to the vanishing point. Doors work the same way as well. You can just keep using this vanishing point as a reference for all the items in your drawing. Now let's take things one step further and try a two-point perspective. This happens when an object like a cube is turned so that two sides are showing. We'll start with the horizon line again, but this time we'll mark it twice for our two vanishing points. Then, we'll start by drawing the vertical edge line on the center of our cube first. Next, connect the top and bottom points of this line to each vanishing point. First to the right, and then to the left. Now we can use these construction lines and draw the left and right edges of our cube inside them, like this. To complete the cube, we'll use these edge lines to create the other construction lines. The top and bottom points of the left line connect to the right vanishing point. And the top and bottom of the right line connect to the left vanishing point. Let's try this out again to get the hang of it. Draw the vertical edge line first, then draw construction lines connecting the top and bottom of the vertical line to the right vanishing point, then the left. Draw the left and right vertical lines somewhere along the inside of our construction lines on each side. Connect the left vertical line to the right vanishing point, and then the right vertical line to the left. And there we go. Drawing is just as much about observing and understanding your subjects as it is putting pencil to paper. For instance, if you look at a car parked at an angle, you may notice it follows the rules of two-point perspective. We can set things up much the same way with a horizon line and two vanishing points, then break the form up into a number of cubes using vertical and horizontal construction lines. Another way to add depth to your drawing is to use something called atmospheric perspective. This is where objects decrease in contrast the greater the distance they are from you. Eventually, the objects may seem to completely disappear as they fade off into the background. This is especially noticeable in scenes with mountains. So, the next time you create a piece with lots of mountains, buildings, and other things off in the distance, consider going lighter and adding less detail the farther away they are. Well, I hope this gave you a better understanding of perspective drawing. Be sure to give this video a like and comment to let me know if it's helped you. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.